Good evening. It's been described as the biggest public health disaster in the history of the NHS. Thousands of people were given infected blood products in the 1970s and 80s that led to some patients contracting HIV, AIDS or hepatitis C. Today, a UK-wide public inquiry got underway. Scottish campaigners say they hope it'll get to the truth of what happened after labelling an inquiry in Scotland 3 years ago a whitewash. Our health correspondent Lisa Summers reports.
Gill Fyfee spent years collecting evidence for her own memoirs. She was given a blood transfusion in Dundee in 1988 after the birth of her daughter.
A letter arrived one day, just out of the blue, saying that the transfusion had been contaminated. As soon as I read it, I knew that I was infected. There was a sort of moment of calm, and then I realised I might have infected the children and just went crazy.
Despite treatment, her immune system was compromised. She now has to avoid daylight.
It has changed the course of our lives and affected absolutely everything.
Gill is just one of many affected or infected to travel to London today with fresh hopes for a new investigation.
And the people bow and pray.
At a ceremony, they remembered those who died or lived with the consequences of being given infected blood. It's thought around 3,000 people in Scotland were given contaminated blood. Much of it came from imported supplies from the US, where people were paid to donate. In Scotland, the NHS also used blood from prisoners. Scotland was the first part of the UK to order a public inquiry. It took 6 years and cost £12 million. It made only one recommendation for increased screening. At the time, campaigners expressed their anger by burning the report.
For many years, lots of outstanding questions as to why it happened, why it wasn't responded to, why the various charities that were set up to fund people affected were inadequate. And this is really the result of 20-odd years, indeed perhaps longer than that, of campaigning.
This afternoon, the inquiry heard the Scottish Government had declined to be a key participant, to the surprise of some campaigners. The UK chair said it would get answers.
It is willing to hold people to account where appropriate, and it will express its views at the end without fear or favour, affection or ill will.
There has been so much suffering and so much sadness for those infected through no fault of their own. Now the start of a new journey in search of answers.
Lisa Summers reporting there.